Hi, Anna, Taxi. Can you hear me?
Yes, do you hear me?
I can hear you.
I just want to let you know that we have polling for this session.
What we have?
Polling. We have
I
questions
know.
that need to be. Okay. You have the questions, you have everything set up?
Yes, I have two questions. It's not a question, it's like a
Yes.
cloud poll. Like everyone, they will type a word. Let's make a test, okay?
Yes, let's.
Good morning.
Hi, good
Good morning,
morning.
Denise.
How are you?
How are you?
I mean, the question to you is a little bit more relevant, I guess. And for us, it's crazy to watch what you guys are eating. But I hope everybody's okay there. Can you hear me well?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Oh.
Okay. Yana?
Yes.
So where is my Slido? Where do I have to go here?
We just want to check the polling first, because we will have questions for this session, and then Libron will share with you the Slido link. Hi, Annie. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I think our numbers are great, right? I just got a number rating. 1,800.
Yep.
Okay, Yana, do you see the link in the chat?
I see.
Yes.
Okay, can you click, please? Okay, let's see.
I see water. Welcome to the summit.
Let's see.
Anna, my background is okay, or do I need to make the...
Okay, 1 second.
Wait a second. I see you so small, but yes, looks good.
I would suggest if you can, because the window is behind you, so you see your face is a bit
No, I can make it darker. That's why I was asking.
In the shadows.
Do what I've done, Denise. Just go around the other side of your desk. Just turn your laptop round and sit at the other side of your desk. That's what I've done. The window's facing me. I know the background.
Last time I did it with that background, so I don't want to change it.
To me, it's good, Jana. Now, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when the shadows are down, it should be better.
Yes, now it's better. Yeah, definitely better.
You're looking even more beautiful than normal, Denise.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I get so many messages of the people that saw the introduction.
Okay, sorry. My name is Ron. I'm the technician for this session.
Sorry, can you repeat your name? I didn't hear it well.
Ron.
Ron,
R-O-N.
Ah, Ron. Okay, sorry. Hi, Ron.
Okay, so I'm sharing with you a link in the chat. If you see now, this is from this link, you're going to see all the questions from the audience.
Okay, I need to send that to me for my iPad because I will open it in my iPad.
Okay.
Just a second.
I will send also a test question.
Yeah.
I will write something now. Do you see?
Yep.
Yes, hello.
Okay, great.
Where's Peter, Anna? Do we need to grab him somewhere?
Yeah, he's still in a meeting, he said, but I don't know. I will call him.
Yeah, please make sure. Okay, do I need to refresh the Slido or will that just come in?
No, you don't need to refresh.
Okay. It's always confusing to me that I'm seeing myself backwards, but okay. So shall we look at the poll?
Yes. Now I'm activating the poll.
So it's not multiple choice, it's free text, right? Which few do you think is most promising?
This is the first question. This is the first question, and this is the second.
Oh, okay, can you go back? That was too fast for me. Can you go back quickly? Just.
Yes, of course. I just need a sign that you give me a sign to activate the first question and to activate the second question.
Okay, I would say let's move on to the first question, and then I would read it. And then I would say, okay, great, we have already. Do we need time before we move to the second question? Or can that go on in the background?
You decided. See, I just type something for test. Okay.
Okay, so if we have enough words, I would say, okay, let's move on.
Yes.
But how will we count if people put the same word? That is, I think that's not working.
It will show as a word cloud. So this was the preferred option that we had. So the word which was written the most will be bigger than the other ones. So that way.
Okay, perfect. Okay, understood. That was my question, I guess. Okay, which few do you think has the most? Yeah. Okay.
1 second.
By the way, I don't see it on Slido here. Is that correct?
Yeah, I stopped it. Okay, this is the first question.
Which few do you think has the most promising future in our segment? Yeah, perfect.
And the second?
Hydrogen is some of the most discussed fuels today. In which marine application do you see pure e-hydrogen? Okay. When I will read it, I will add some. Peter, do you hear us? Just that you know, I will add some. Oh no, we lost him again.
Yes, I hear you and I see you. So
okay. I will read the e-diesel, e-methanol, that people get a little bit encouraged to answer, right?
Ron, I just want to add something. So after you read the question, it will be good to give some time for people to answer, right? So the answer can be shown.
Okay. So I will just talk a little bit and
encourage them.
I will wait until Denise tells me, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, right. I think that is the best thing to do. Yeah, perfect. So in the last Q&A was true. I saw that you gave a little bit space between the Q&A started, right? Or if you're okay with the poll, can we do the poll at any time of the Q&A? Because I would like to start with some questions, then go to the poll. So I would say now let's move on to a poll. Then you activate it. We do the 2 questions in the poll, and then I go back to questions.
Yes.
So I would do that gives also some time to put questions in the chat. I think that's good.
Yes, they can put questions on the chat on any time. Okay. But of course, not during the polls. During the polls, they cannot.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question regarding the poll, Denise? Because I was off with somebody on the phone. Do you want it to have it like a word cloud so people can type in the answers, or do you prefer multiple choice? Because both is possible.
I think Daniel preferred word cloud, and as the word cloud can also count the answers, I think that's okay. That's good.
So we go with word cloud?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So how do you want to do the practice session? So I'm on Slido. I will look as in the first session, we had so many questions. I would just really go with the first two to Kevin. In your presentation, you discussed the IMO targets for greenhouse gas emission reduction. What are the main things that you expect to be happening in the next few years to meet the reduction? That would be the opening question. And Peter, I would also, in order to give people time, there are completely new technologies on the horizon. What is Rolls-Royce Power Systems' position towards ammonia? That is a strange question to get started, right? I would start with the hydrogen question. We don't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so
yeah, that's better.
So then I would go this first. This.
Okay, sorry to disturb. Kevin, just a quick audio test. Can you please say something?
Yeah, can you hear me okay? I'm
You can hear me
speaking.
perfect. Thank you. Sorry.
So how would we be positioned in the screen? I think I should be as moderator.
1 second. Yana, can you please close your video?
Annie as well, yeah.
Oh, now Peter was upside down. No, okay. Yeah, I think that is perfect, right? Like this.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay.
So
actually, we have
come back.
We have 3 minutes before we start the pre-recording. So, do you want to watch the pre-recording? I can send you a link, and right after you need to close the window and stay here for the Q&A.
So how would it work? You will talk to us, and now it starts. I need to know. Do I need to put a watch for 15 minutes? No,
I will give you a reminder a few minutes before.
Okay, in the chat function.
No, we're from here.
No, she means when to end the Q&A. So for when to end the Q&A, we will send you in the chat just a reminder. For example, there are 3 minutes left, so you can know more or less, and then there's 1 minute, so you can wrap up.
Yes.
I don't know. Have you seen the one with Chu and
yes.
Professor Piotr? Yes, this is what we did with them as well. So we just send them a chat saying in StreamYard. So you will see it here on your right side. For example, there are 3 minutes left until the end of the Q&A. There's 1 minute left, so then you know more or less how to manage the time.
Okay. Shall we? Peter, I don't know. Maybe the PLB will understand if you don't join today, or if they switch the agenda. I mean, sorry for that, but
I try to organize this. I'll be with you in a second.
Because I guess we have 600 people watching. That is maybe priority today. Your boss
Denise,
can take over. Yeah.
Denise, I would say maybe Kevin, Kevin, do you hear
Hello.
me? Hi.
Yes, I can.
Could you rearrange the camera because it looks kind of, you are in a funny house.
Hang on a second. I've got some fraud going on in my account at the moment.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. So at what time does it start exactly? 10?
15. 11:15.
So in 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It starts with a pre-recorded session. So the session will be, and then the session will be like 28 minutes, and then you will be in for the live Q&A.
The live Q&A will start exactly in 42 minutes. Okay?
In what?
42,
okay, yeah.
42. So we
So
have
at 11:40.
Yes.
Okay,
that's around.
I just want to hear that Peter and Kevin are okay, and that we just go through it one more time, maybe.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes. Much better.
Remember to switch off all your Outlook, Skype, everything, that we don't have pop-ups appearing.
Okay.
Okay, so do we just one last time? Shall we go through it?
Yeah.
So I would say, great. Now let's move. No, I said that already. Let's move to the Q&A. to get warmed up, Kevin, in your presentation, you said the IMO targets. What do you think will be happening in the next few years of reduction? Then you have your speech clear, Kevin, right? Okay.
Yeah, hang on a sec. I've just my account's just been cleaned out from. I've just lost 13,000 euros. Sorry.
Oh, what? Yeah.
Okay. Peter, you need to rearrange your camera a bit because we see the light bulb, which we haven't seen before. Other direction? I don't know. The other way. I don't know what's left and right. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking and I'm muted. If it's a laptop, maybe you just put the camera a little bit closer to you.
Will do. Give me an instant. I had a very strange setup last time. I made it to rearrange it, so the bulb is still in there.
If you just move a little bit to the other side.
Yeah.
No. But maybe we can really clarify content first to be safe, and then we just take a last minute to rearrange camera. I don't know if it makes sense, but Kevin is not there.
That's perfect.
So the setting is better now?
Yes, perfect. I'm a little bit worried because it seems that Kevin has a really big issue. I hope he manages to clarify.
I'm also a bit worried because
I've also touched on this slide already quite shortly because this is a slide which represents the ecosystem which we looked at.
Yeah, I thought I had a big issue, but obviously
Centric is the best partner for us. What you see here,
Kevin
we have visited and talked to most of the players on that slide, nationally and internationally. There are quite some activity.
Oh, we hear the PLB, right? I was wondering what we are hearing here. That's topic.
Companies are taking. Many, especially in China, they're focusing.
That's the PLB. Sorry for that one. So how do we do this?
So we need.
So I think this was the position I had last time. Is it better now, Anne?
It's better. I just checked. I sent it in via mail yesterday, the picture. I will just look real quick, but it looks good. I double check.
You want me to check what is wrong with Kevin?
So I think when we did the recording.
By the way, we will have echo during the session, so it's very important to close the browser. I mean, because right now I can hear the lecture. So if you can mute yourself now from StreamYard or just close the pre-recording. Okay, now it's okay. Thank you.
Kevin, are you okay?
No, not really. But let's just carry on. My account's just been cleaned out, so yeah, I don't know what's happened. Sorry, it's I'm trying to contact my bank.
Very sorry for that.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Well, basically, we have time until the live Q&A starts because the pre-recording will be played before that. So if Kevin manages to get in contact with his bank, he will have the time to have the call.
But we had now, Anna, a big break between the last recording and this one now, right? We'll start in 4 minutes, it says.
I'm unmuted. What do you mean with big break?
Yeah, there was 20 minutes in between the last and almost
There's
30
always
minutes.
there's always a 50-minute break so people can get a coffee.
Ah, okay, I didn't know that. I was wondering why.
Yeah, always 15 minutes, but sometimes like tomorrow we don't have a 50-minute because Daniel already uses 45 minutes for his presentation. So we take the 50 minutes from the break for his Q&A.
Okay, so but I will say tomorrow morning we will start again with an exhibit hall time, and then at 10 a.m. CET. What do I say then?
So tomorrow.
Which time zone are we in tomorrow morning?
CET.
Everything is in CET.
So 9 CET, we will start with
yes,
the session on Power to X. So that will be my last statement.
Yeah.
The last session were watched by how many people? 400 something, right? Okay.
I think we even got up to 600.
Yeah.
Watching the session?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Or is after this still an exhibit time? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, Anna. It seems like we're both answering.
Make sure to join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. CET. Okay, Kevin, let me know when you're ready to just go one more time through it, or you prefer to do this and.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, carry on, Denise, please. What do you want me to do?
No, just that we go one more time through it. Then we have, I think, 30 minutes break, and you can call your bank, and then we are on at 11:40 for the live session.
Yeah, sure.
So as I ended the recording with, now we move into Q&A, I would start with the very first question to you, referring your presentation on the IMO targets, and then asking you to get warmed up. What are the main things that you expect to be happening in the next few years to meet the reductions? You're clear on what you will answer and what you will say, right?
Sorry, say the question again. My head's a bit spinning at the moment. Sorry, say the question again, please, Denise.
So in your presentation, you discussed the IMO targets for greenhouse gas emission reduction. What are the main things that you expect to be happening in the next few years to meet the reductions?
Okay, so one of the first things is that the shipping companies will be working on their energy efficiency index for existing shipping. So they'll be thinking about things like how often they clean the hulls, the shipping speeds that they go at. For industry, there'll be a focus on alternative fuels, and certainly a big push will be, can we use synthetic diesel and synthetic fuels built from renewable sources, as well as the introduction of fuels such as ammonia and hydrogen-based fuels. Whether we'll actually see hydrogen being fully adopted, it's a very difficult fuel to handle. But certainly things like methanol and ammonia, I think, will certainly play a big part, as well as I say, those synthetic diesels. So I think for industry and for engine manufacturers, there is a huge opportunity to really take on these the challenges of using these alternative fuels and getting them approved for their engines.
Okay, then I would hand over to Peter, and we need to be careful that we don't overlap, but I will say, as Kevin mentioned already, Peter, hydrogen seems to be the most discussed fuel these days. How do you see the usability in shipping? So then you can go maybe a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so technical-wise, hydrogen can be used either with reactive engines or with fuel cells. So the fuel itself does not have a big limitation. The biggest limitation is space and shipping. So we see both ways, compressed hydrogen and also liquid hydrogen. But at the end of the day, the load profile and the time between refilling will make the difference if hydrogen is really a useful or a usable fuel for shipping. So coastal shipping, certainly yes. Deep sea shipping, most likely not. So we prepare those different type of storage, but also of usage of hydrogen for ships.
Okay, very good. I think we need to make sure that we all go on mute when the other one is speaking and unmute then, because then we will avoid the echo, right? Okay, then I would say, keeping that this is obviously an interesting discussion, maybe we ask also the audience, let's move into a poll. And what would they do? They need to go on Slido, or they just do it in the session? Where do they need the people to vote?
They will see it. They will see a window with the option, the same window that they can ask questions. It will change.
So you will see in the window, you can ask questions. There will now appear poll. Which fuel do you think has the most promising future in our segment? So please put in words. It's a word cloud. So you can put e-diesel if you think that is the most important one, e-methanol, e-hydrogen, ammonia, or anything else what you think will have a dominant role in shipping. And that will give us all an indication how you see the future. Also, please keep in mind after this poll ended to continue to ask questions. Even that I have some in my mind, it would be better that you ask one. Then we would move to the second poll. Hydrogen is some of the most discussed fuels, as we heard from Peter. In which marine applications do you see pure e-hydrogen? Put just vessel types like ferries, tugs, inland waterway shipping, ocean going, or something else. And then if there's no questions coming in, which I doubt, I would move to Kevin again. What do you think the marine engineering community has to focus on now? We heard from
just trying to get my is my screen slanted? Is it? I'm trying to get it level, so
just a little bit.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to find something that's of the right shim length to. I think that's okay. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yep. Yeah, better.
Okay. So the question, Denise, was what can the marine engineering community focus on going forwards?
Right. Yeah.
I think there's a huge opportunity for marine engineers to play a part in managing future technology. So there's a huge amount of innovation coming along, certainly in things like vessel design, in engine design, clearly fuel cell and developing affordable fuel cells that could be marinized is another key area. Another area is around the use of autonomous vessels, because you can get more cargo per vessel per ton and reduce emissions by actually using autonomous type vessels where you don't need human beings on board anymore. You can control the speed of the vessel better, you can coordinate it going in and out of harbour. And this represents a complete new avenue of innovation for engineers to get involved with. And technology like artificial intelligence is really beginning to come into how operators operate their fleet. And this is really giving tactical advantages around the, handling weather and currents, managing the speed and the efficiency of vessels as well. And I think we're only just really scratching the surface. So it's an exciting time to be a marine engineer at the moment. And I would love to be back at just graduating from university to get into an exciting industry.
Great. And then I would move to Peter with the last question, where we say, we saw already also people voting for ammonia. What is a position on Rolls-Royce power system towards ammonia?
Yeah, ammonia is a heavily discussed fuel, especially for shipping. So we follow a lot of those discussions, and yeah, basically it makes a lot of sense where you have ammonia available. For example, if you have ammonia as a cargo and have deep sea shipping, for example, from South America to Europe, and then to use it also in the propulsion system, it makes a lot of sense. On the other hand side, we should be aware that ammonia is quite toxic, so it's not easy to handle. Therefore, we do not really see an advantage over hydrogen. So the higher energy density against a higher risk potential in handling it. We think that close to coast and within inland waterways especially, hydrogen or perhaps methanol would be the better choice to go for. But it's hard to decide right now. It would be very interesting to have more voices here out of the industry to learn more and also to see how the crowd is seeing that one. Something like that. So at the end of the day.
Okay, no, that's great. I think honestly, and then, I mean, now we are already talking 10 minutes with the poll. I think we will not have more time than these questions, and I prefer to take them from the audience. So there will be spontaneous questions where we have to agree. And I might say, okay, I take this one if it's very customer oriented or something. Then I would say thanks a lot, Kevin and Peter, and many thanks to all of you for joining and contributing to our session on market and technology trends. Make sure to join our next sessions. First of all, the exhibit hall still being open for the next hour, and tomorrow morning starting again with exhibit halls, and then at 9 a.m. CET for the first session on Power to X. And I can tell you this is a super interesting session. I had the pleasure to watch it already. No, I shouldn't say that, right? Oops. Okay. Good that you do that mistake up front. Okay, I would say we are good to go. We stay here, but everybody can mute and do whatever is needed or anything.
Well, your session is already on, right?
Yeah, I would just go back to it too. So when it's ending, we jump here, close the session, unmute.
When the pre-recording ending, I will give you a reminder a few minutes before, and then Denise, you will count from 5 to 0 silently, and then you can start the session.
So
I will give you a reminder. I will let you know.
Yeah. Anna, just one thing. There is many people in the town hall area. No, how is it called? The lounge area that are sending private messages into the public. Can we tell the people that they are posting it to each and everybody? Like a guy, I don't know if you can delete that. Maybe, Jana. A guy sent to me, hey, let's meet in the bar in Berlin again. I don't want that everybody can see that.
It's you meeting guys in Berlin?
No, but I did some years ago.
Stop doing meeting guys, Denise, you know?
I don't know, but can we tell the people somehow that they should send private messages privately, maybe? Because now Otto Büchler sent, hey, my Ü is missing in my name and things like this. I mean, and the guy greeting everybody he knows personally, and then I don't know.
Okay, we take it up in our group, Jana, huh?
Yes.
To see how we solve it.
Yes, usually the messages are available for everybody to see. This is why it's important for one person to go over the incoming things to make sure that they select the questions out of comments and other things.
But you can delete things out of the public area, right?
Ron, assist me with this.
I don't know.
I will check.
I don't think we can. Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but maybe we can put a comment and said, hey, let's post things for everybody. Direct messages can be done like this. Some nice statement where you encourage people to rather send direct messages to the people.
Let me check. Yes. 1 second. Thank you.
Usually there's we call it code of conduct, where we tell people that they shouldn't be posting like offensive things or things that are
No,
not
there was nothing totally bad. It was all
relevant.
okay. I think they were just not aware that they are sending it to everybody. If it's not possible to delete, no problem. And I think there's again someone putting cannot get audio. I don't know how you help these guys. But...
Yes, these ones we take care of. I just want to open the slide.
Okay, then I go on mute and I watch the rest of the session. Good luck, guys. Looking forward to talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Denise, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Okay, I just checked with the technical.
Wait, how do I stop that? Okay, now I hear you.
I just checked with the technical team regarding the message in the chat. They told me that it's not public, it's private. Why do you think it's public? That everyone saw your message?
Sorry, I need to switch off the... how do I stop that?
At least if somebody messaged you about the bar in Berlin, we didn't see that.
Ah, really? Okay.
No.
Then it was... Wait, let me go back. Because I also saw...
There
It was in the town square, that's why. From Thomas Hengewoods. He says, hello, Denise, in German. That is in the town square.
No.
It's not? Because I can also see his messages to everybody in the town square. Thomas Hengewoods.
Let me check. Because now that I've opened Slido on my side, I have only one question, like one comment that
Not Slido, it's in the town square, in the networking
in the networking lounge.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
maybe that was the confusion.
They told me that they cannot see a public messages, but if you said, can you send me a print screen?
Yeah, wait.
I'm checking now as well.
And Peter also received the same message, so he didn't realize, I think. I put it here in the chat, or what? I cannot add it in the chat. But I can show you my screen. Wait.
Yes, she can share her screen.
You can see that?
No, it's very small. Let's see.
Sorry.
Okay, but do you see in the chat, the private chat? Do you see? I just typed my email.
Okay, I send it to you.
Just send me the print screen. Thank you.
Okay. Did I stop sharing? No. Oh.
I didn't join the networking lounge recently, and now I see there's so many messages.
Yeah. That is.
It's amazing.
I was joining it a lot because I welcomed the people. Why I cannot?
Oh, is it the question the Thomas Hengewirtz?
Yes.
Person?
He sent public messages to many people, including Peter and myself. And in German it says, "Hey, great to meet." It's not crazy, but it's like, maybe we go back to a bar together, you know?
Yeah.
And then there is another guy, Otto Büchler, who says, "Hey, my Ü is missing." I mean, that is just stuff. Some people are using it for marketing. That's okay, I think. You received my email?
Yes.
But yeah, I think as Jana found it, I think we should be okay. Okay. Then I watch where we are.
I will just do a screenshot with my phone, so if you see me just staring with my phone to the camera.
Okay, so we have 13 minutes before we go live.
Denise, I was just talking to our team and they said that they can delete the messages that you wish to be deleted. Will these be the ones sent from, was it Thomas? Thomas? Yes, Thomas.
And there's one from Otto Buchela,
Otto.
where it says his U is missing. That's in German. I think Anna
Yes,
can do so.
Otto.
Yeah, I do it in the chat, Jana. I send it on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I
Sure.
think that's good, Anna, right? I think that is just stuff
Yeah,
that should.
it's strange. Why?
If you just
People. What can you do?
how many people are watching? I would like to know how many people are watching. Do you see that?
At the moment, I don't. Jana, do you?
I think Liron can check. I don't have access to the statistics on my side.
Right now we have around 200, more or less,
200?
Yes.
That's not so many.
Denise sounds disappointed. After 600, like 200 only? Anne, I see that Otto, I cannot pronounce his last name, has 2 comments. I see the second one has the umlaut thing, the U. With the, is it only the second part that we should delete, or because I see that he says hello, Michael, something.
Delete
session.
all of it.
Okay. Thank you.
No, because it's a private message to Michael. Nobody is interested in.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
Peter, are you there? Peter, are you there?
I am.
Do you see the questions coming in?
Yeah, I wanted that he checks the questions because
it's one for digital twin.
Kevin, is Kevin there?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, great. Kevin, did you see the question on the digital twin and by generating synthetic fuels in the Slido? Because I want to check to whom I should address that.
Yeah.
Can you explain the digital twin? Should I address that to you?
You can, or both I and Peter can deal with that one, and we can talk about synthetic fuel. The answer on the synthetic fuel is that if it's produced using electricity from renewable sources, then it has a neutral effect on the environment. So it's not bad for the environment at all.
So I would move, I think that is a question. I would prefer to give you the digital twin and Peter the synthetic fuel.
Okay.
If he's listening to us.
We have 5 minutes before we go live.
Peter, are you ready? We have 5 minutes to go. Peter, are you there?
Gerade den Chef abgehängt. Ah, hier.
Sorry, I have to stop this here, I guess. Peter, did you see the questions? I would hand over the question: by generating synthetic fuels, are we also generating unwanted waste, which is bad for the environment? That would go to you. It's in the chat coming in, so I would recommend to watch it. We start in 4 minutes, I think. Oh my God, they're all disappearing.
Can I see the chat in the same time?
Peter, please, now you're out. Switch off your phone, flight mode.
Done.
Good.
Okay.
So, all okay, Anna? Ready to go?
Ready to go.
This is my problem with this hair. It just does what it wants.
It's good.
And this dress is also not doing what I want. Where to put my iPad?
Okay. So Denise, you are just showing this third day of the agenda, right?
If we have the agenda on the screen, then we're getting closer to the end.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Libron?
Yes.
How much time do we have?
We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds before we go live.
Okay.
Yana, can you please stop your video camera?
Of course. Anne, you as well. Yeah.
I know.
If you want, you can stay.
So Denise,
I don't want to stay.
Denise,
Yes.
can you hear me? Okay.
Hello.
So I will let you know. I will give you a sign, and then please count silently from 10 to 0, and then you can start the session. Okay. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Okay, so Denise, please count silently from 10 to 0, and then you can start. Good luck.
Great. So I see already the first questions coming in. I encourage everybody to really join us in putting questions into the chat on the right side of the window. To give a little bit more time to the audience, Kevin, let's get warmed up a little bit with a question. On your presentation, you discussed the IMO targets for greenhouse gas emission reductions. What are the main things that you expect to be happening in the next few years to meet the reductions?
Thanks, Denise. So I think it can fall into 5 broad categories. First of all, there's operational things. So ships can actually steam slower, reduce speed, because a 10% reduction in speed leads to a 27% reduction in emissions. There's incremental measures like improvements to propellers or hull design that can be done. Then there's a switch to renewable, so things like wind assist, putting sails onto ships. The fourth one is around using things like energy storage, like batteries, or to use cold ironing when it's alongside to power the ship rather than use its own harbour engines. And then the fifth thing is really around using low carbon fuels, and these could be things like synthetic fuels, which are taken from diesel, which is recreated using renewable power, or using things like methanol or ammonia. So these are the 5 different things which I think will happen over the next 5 to 10 years as the industry begins to decarbonize.
Thanks, Kevin. Moving to Peter. As already Kevin mentioned, hydrogen seems to be also one of the most discussed fuels today. How do you see the usability in shipping?
Yeah, so in principle, hydrogen is a very clean fuel for any purpose. So for shipping too, the major issue is not really using the hydrogen, it's the energy density in storing. So we distinguish between compressed hydrogen and liquefied hydrogen a little bit depending on the application, on the space available for the overall installation. So usability is already given and proven. So first examples are out there in the field. And yeah, we would be happy to learn what our customers and the industry thinks about it.
Yeah, good point. For that, we have prepared actually a poll today. So if you go on the right side where also the question section is, we prepared 2 questions, starting with the first one. Which fuels do you think has the most promising future in our segment? And it's a word cloud, so you can just put whatever fuel you think, like e-diesel or e-methanol, e-hydrogen, ammonia, and we will get a little bit an idea of what the ecosystem thinks that we have online. Please help us to get a little bit of feedback. We have one that says hydrogen, great. More to come. Let's see that you are out there. Ammonia, okay. Okay, now we are getting in. Thank you for participating, because that is important. Because as this motto of the conference is really a journey together, we don't see this, that we can do this alone. Just a few more seconds before we move to the next question. Interesting. Seems that the winner is hydrogen, because the size of the word shows what the people think. Also a little bit of the traditional fuels. Great. Okay, then let's move to the next poll question. As obviously hydrogen is some
I just
of the
wonder
most...
whether we ought to, Denise, just talk a little bit about hydrogen, and maybe just to understand, hydrogen is a real challenge for us in terms of technical challenges, but it's something that engineering can really do something about. When you have to store hydrogen, it's stored at a very cold temperature and embrittlement. So it's an interesting technology, and I think one which engineering in marine engineering is going to have a real challenge solving, but it can be solved.
Yeah, absolutely. The next poll question is looking at hydrogen as you said, most discussed. In which applications, meaning in vessels, you see pure hydrogen? So a few people put biofuel, but I didn't put my question yet. So it's really, is it more for ferries? Do you see it rather in tugs, in inland waterways, or ocean-going vessels? So which vessel types you see e-hydrogen going to be focused? Just vessel types is the question now for hydrogen. People transportation, tug harbor, okay, interesting. Inland waterways, okay. Coastal shipping. Yeah, maybe Peter, you can also comment a little bit on the CO2 footprint of hydrogen in the meantime.
Yeah, sure. So in principle, as already mentioned, hydrogen is the cleanest fuel if you make it out of clean energy, obviously. So if you use green energy from the sun, from wind, from renewables in general, it's a very clean and good way to get rid of the CO2 emissions. For a bridging time, as long as we have to take hydrogen also from steam reforming out of hydrocarbons, we have to take this into account. Nevertheless, we will see for transition time hydrogen also from fossils, but it's not only about steam reforming, there are other methods. And yeah, we will see tomorrow, 9 o'clock CET. Daniel Chatterjee will give a little bit more insight about the possibilities. So it's not only about steam reforming and electrolyzers from renewables, but there are also plasmolysis opportunities to get hydrogen. And so hydrogen get different colors, not in real, obviously, but depending on where the source is and where the initial energy comes from, we distinguish the hydrogen colors. And availability and obviously also the price will depend on the way how you generated it and the CO2 footprint remaining on the generation of the hydrogen.
Okay, great. I think we have now a lot of answers on the poll. Thanks a lot for the feedback. It looks like ferry is the dominant for the hydrogen here, but followed by others. We have a lot of questions coming in. Maybe one to you, Kevin, that is very often in the chat regarding how do you see hybrid propulsion developing in the next years to come, and which role hybrid solution, hybrid propulsions developing?
Yeah. Certainly, it's a technology that's been around for quite a while in terms of propulsion configuration. But what's really made it exciting is the use of energy storage, and we're seeing a lot of progression in the technology around batteries, which means that they're becoming more and more energy dense. They're nowhere near as good as fuel, but they just allow you to give more options for control of ships. You know, coming in and out of harbour, you can operate in battery mode. You can reduce the load cycling on diesel engines and increase the through life sort of overhaul time of engines, and it allows them to be fitted into smaller and smaller vessels. So you know, hybrid I think is really being pioneered at the moment, particularly in the ferry industry. It's beginning to come into the tug industry and into workboats. So yeah, it's pretty exciting technology, and it's one in which I think a lot of people are making huge investments in, especially around battery technology.
Thank you, Kevin. I think there is also a question, and I think, Peter, maybe you can go in that direction. I'm trying to mix in a few questions here because of the time. How do you see the collaboration between the regulatory associations like IMO, the industry, and also, of course, the development of technologies working together? How we can really achieve the targets?
So there's a quite close collaboration between the industry and the regulations. So IMO has different working groups. They are working mostly the same people from industry, but also from governmental associations together, and they're trying to balance those topics. So as I already mentioned, we are in a transition phase from burning fossil fuels in diesel going to most likely hydrogen, perhaps ammonia, methanol, other e-fuels to come. And there's a huge investment needed on all sides. So the manufacturer, the operators, but also the governments, they have to push this. And so I think it fits quite good together. In my eyes, it could go even faster, but we see also with the Green Deal in Europe especially, but not only in Europe, we see comparable initiatives all around the world in all governments. So the need is seen everywhere, and collaboration is established. And IMO is a very good platform here.
Yeah, thank you. There are many questions coming in. I'm trying to cope with them and try to combine them a little bit. A question to you, Kevin, is really on the waste side. It's about disposal of batteries, but also if the e-fuels, synthetic fuels are also generating a waste. Can you elaborate a little bit on that for the group?
Okay, well, let's just split that into two. So the person who asked the question is really right. We do have to think about how we actually dispose of batteries. They contain some complex chemicals which are quite difficult to be broken down in the environment. So lots of countries have their own regulations around the disposal of electrical goods. So the European Union has the WEEE directives, which puts obligations actually on the manufacturers of electronic components to have a plan in place to facilitate disposal. So I think actually putting the emphasis on the manufacturer is a good way of doing that. I didn't quite understand the second part of the question, but certainly around renewable fuel. Well, so e-fuels, they are carbon neutral if they're generated, as Peter says, from renewable electricity sources. So they don't have an impact in terms of CO2 emissions if they come from renewable sources. It could come from traditional sort of generation sources, and therefore you'd still be generating carbon to generate a very complex fuel. So there's no logic in doing that at all. So it really comes about from using renewable sources like wind or hydro.
Thank you, Kevin. I think that is very good. There is an interesting question, and maybe Peter, you can start off and I can add on. There's a question on how's Rolls-Royce Power Systems looking to work with shipbuilders and operators on testing out these new technologies. What is the plan there?
Yeah, so thanks to whomever posed this question. It's really crucial for us as part of the industry here to partner, because I'm completely convinced that no one of us can really tackle this challenge on his own alone. So we are really keen, and we're looking forward to partner with shipyards, with operators, in order to introduce such new product solutions using sustainable fuels like hydrogen fuel cells or even hydrogen red engines. So please get in touch, and I think Denise, you will add something more on the business side.
Yeah, I mean,
technical-wise,
you have my contact details, I guess. So approach us. We are seeing, especially for operators, vessel operators, funding opportunities in the European Union. Also in Singapore is a place that is supporting that. So whenever you see an opportunity that we can also meet short-term the power density, which is obviously in our applications on fast ferries, etc., still a problem, but we truly believe in bringing vessels on the water. We will learn the best out of it together. So thanks for raising that question. Then there is, and happy to both of you, but maybe starting with Kevin, questions coming in on efficiency of the different solutions. I mean, we touched that a little bit, but maybe also looking at how the technology will bring efficiency. And maybe you could also, as it comes up, talk a little bit about the costing right now.
Oh, that's a very broad question.
Right?
I don't know where to start. And I think as technology progresses, we're going to see different levels of efficiency. We just talked about batteries, and we can see, for instance, the energy density of batteries is effectively increasing and improving several tens of % each year as that technology moves forward. We certainly see the biggest effect coming through using alternative fuels. So the use of synthetic fuels really does help solve the problem. The problem is getting that fuel bunkered around the world at different places, and to get the engine technology to actually utilize it. So that's going to be quite a journey over the next 3 to 5 years to really progress that. But that's going to have the biggest benefit. But ships today, that equipped with diesels, if they just slow down, a 10% reduction in speed leads to 27% reduction in emissions in general. So that one fact itself can actually save fuel, it can save emissions, and it's very effective to be put in place. The problem is people want their goods today. You order online, you want your goods today, so you don't really want to be waiting another sort of 10% more days for your goods to arrive from China into Europe or vice versa.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. And Peter, you want to add something also a little bit maybe on the fuel cell cost structure and payback?
Today, fuel cells, obviously, and everyone knows this, are much more expensive than comparable recip engines. Nevertheless, we should take into account that hydrogen recip engine cost-wise will also have a little bit kind of disadvantage over LNG engines due to the lower energy or power density of such an engine. Nevertheless, the other side is that hydrogen fuel cells are on their way to be introduced in the on-highway industry. So many manufacturers started already their mass production, and we will see a drop in cost of the cells comparable to what we saw some 10 years or 15 years ago with solar modules, and some 5 to 10 years ago with the lithium-ion cells. And then the major topic, the fuel cell module itself, will get commoditized.
Yeah, that is great, Peter. I think we are getting to the end of the session. I'm sorry to cut you here, but I would like to use the opportunity to thank both of you a lot, but mainly thank everybody online for this amazing amount of questions. We will try to answer them later on. Please make sure to join the live exhibit halls today and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. CET. We will get started with a session on Power-to-X, so diving one level deeper on exactly this discussion we are having right now. Make sure to bring all your questions also then with us. And in the meantime, thanks a lot for joining and have a good day. Bye-bye.